Hi, it's Darla with Creative Biz School, and I am so excited to have my good friend Iola Yhap on the call today. Iola is the creator of the Escape Your 9 to 5 signature system. She is a speaker, a trainer, an author, and a coach, and she lives in lovely, beautiful Connecticut. Iola, thanks for being on the call with us, honey. I'm so excited to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm happy to be here as well.
we tease each other because it's just as cold, maybe even colder in Connecticut than it is right here in Cincinnati. And I know how much you love the cold weather.
Oh, geez. Completely love it.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Iola. Tell our audience about you.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Iola Yhap, and I am a speaker, coach, author, and trainer. As Darla mentioned, I am the creator of the Escape Your 9 to 5 signature program, and I also started a project called Ain't About That 9 to 5 Life, which is a live workshop that I'll be doing around the country. I love to travel, and I absolutely love to eat. My core message is helping women to do what they love, get paid well for it, escape their 9 to 5 prison sentences, and create a freedom-based lifestyle, and not just for themselves, but for their kids as well.
I think that is really important. It's funny you say that because I have been really focusing on, what's my why, what's my passion, what drives me, and when I started to really think about this deeper, it's my kids. I want to be the example. I want to live the example to my kids so that they know that they don't have to work in a corporate environment. They don't have to do that they can find their passion and live it and be successful at it. So yeah, I think that's wonderful. And I love your whole escape your 9 to 5 because so many people are trapped into that. I've got dear friends that they don't like where they're doing it, but that's what keeps the food on the table for them. So they feel kind of trapped. So I'm so glad that you are doing what you're doing. So
thank you. It's my mission. I mean, I was there, so I know what it's like.
Yeah. So that leads me to my next question. So how did you first get started with developing your program, and why do you do what you do?
Well, it all started in college. I went to college and I dreaded 2 questions. What's your major and what do you want to do?
Uh-huh.
And I dreaded those questions because I had no clue.
Mm-hmm.
Sophomore year, I picked a major. I picked English. That was my favorite subject.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew I didn't want to teach in a traditional school, but still I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I graduated, and if that wasn't bad, I went to grad school. Took out more student loans and decided to major in communications. I figure if I linked English and communications together, I can kind of squeeze myself into anybody's job, since I had no clue what I wanted to do. So I got my master's in communications, graduated. It took me about 2 years to find a job. I was tutoring, and then I worked at 2 schools. I never imagined myself working at a school, and it was not fulfilling at all. Like, I just felt empty because it was not me, and empty because I had no clue what I wanted to do. So the second school I worked, I left the job in 2007 and did real estate.
Wow, that's a shift.
I was into real estate in 2007.
Oh my goodness, that's right. Oh wow.
Yes, it did. Needless to say, I didn't sell any houses.
Oh gosh,
For 2 years, I was running around. I call that period the fugitive period because I did escape my job, but I didn't have a strategic plan in place. So I was just trying different things. And my family is very frustrated. They're like, you really need to get a job. So I finally found a job. I worked with the elderly. I helped them to find jobs.
Oh.
I stayed there for 8 months, and then I went to another job. I helped women to find jobs. Stayed there for 8 years too. I mean,
wow.
8 months.
Wow.
Months.
Okay.
And I was hired by the state of Connecticut, so I worked for the U.S. government, and I stayed there the longest, 1 year and 10 months. I've never
Yay! So, you being an escapee is really your history. It's part of your story, right? That is who you are.
I've never made it to 2 years at any job.
Oh!
And that 1 year, 10 months, that was a stress, and that was my favorite job.
Wow.
And the thing is, not that these jobs were bad, I just didn't belong there.
Yeah.
So I remember I used to cry myself to sleep because I didn't know what was I contributing to the world. Why was I born? And then one day I was introduced to this lady on YouTube. I used to follow her hair videos and all these things. And she talked about having a group coaching program. And I'm thinking, what's group coaching? I'm interested. So I signed up with her, and her price was really low for coaching. But I learned so much from her in that year. And then the following year, I hired a one-on-one coach. And I worked with her and traveled and so forth. But that's pretty much my story. What really clicked for me was one day I woke up and thought, okay, Iola, you do not belong in a 9-to-5. I'm sure there are thousands of other women who know that too, but they don't know how to get out. Right. So that's how my mission and my message started.
Oh, and I think it's beautiful. I really do, because it literally brought a tear to my eye, because I know I was in the corporate too, and I loved what I did, but there's so much politics that I didn't care for, and I always knew in my heart, I will not stay here. This is the beginning of my story. Learn what you can and store that, so that when you are on your own, I always knew I was going to be on my own. I just didn't know when. And and that's the thing. I think there's a lot of people that are afraid. They're afraid to make that leap. They're afraid to take that leap. So I think, I really honestly believe that you are such an encouragement to people to know that yes, you can do it, and you're gonna be better on the other side, right?
Yes.
Because we're not all cut out for it. there's nothing wrong for the people that are corporates for lifers. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. And
everyone has their purpose.
Exactly. And I can relate to falling, crying yourself to sleep, not knowing that there is something else more, and knowing that it's, you just have to dig deep to find it. And that's part of probably the hardest part, right?
Yes. It was painful.
Yeah, it can be very painful. That's for sure. But once you do it, it strengthens you, and then you get so much clarity, right? And you feel you have clarity, and you feel you have purpose.
You feel liberated. You feel free. Like, oh my God, finally.
Exactly. And I can so relate to that. And that's what we want our audience to have, right, too. So, So I know that, of the experiences that you've had, was there one particular one that really just kind of like was really a challenging moment for you as you've been developing your entrepreneurship now?
I would say the most challenging part is family.
Okay. Yes. They can't relate, right?
Yes. It's very difficult to try to convince people, which I stopped trying to convince.
Yeah, you can't convince them, right?
Yeah. It's difficult to have them understand that you do not belong in a normal, quote unquote, normal job. Like, they don't understand that. They're thinking, girl, you're crazy. Why did you leave your good government job with good benefits? Do you know how many people would die for your position? And blah, blah, blah. So that's been very challenging, because sometimes it can get very lonely. So I would say that's my biggest challenge.
Yeah, you know what? I would say that you know that you're not alone in that, because all of us entrepreneurs have felt varying degrees of that. And I know that's one of the reasons why, when I found the online world, I needed that community. And that's why I tried to reach out and connect with other women, because even my closest friends didn't get it. They don't get it. They all support me, but I've had them even say, why don't you just go get a real job?
Or, oh, you're just being lazy. You don't want to work.
Yeah, it's like, no, you have any idea how much work I do? Now, my husband does understand, but they're, and my immediate family understands, but even my mom doesn't get, they don't even know what to ask me, so they can't even ask you questions because they don't even know, they don't understand what you do. So, and it's hard for them to relate because it's outside of their paradigm. They're used to the regular, right? You go to work, you get paid, and you repeat.
Right. What are you home doing? It's not work if you're home.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think that's probably going to be an ongoing challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs, and I think, like you said, you can't let it worry you, because know you're living your life, you're living your truth, and that's their opinion. Right. So,
and just know that things will fall into place. It's going to be difficult. It really will.
Yeah, it'll be challenging.
Keep going the course.
Exactly, and know that you'll have those obstacles, and just overcome them, and know that there's a community of people like us that are out here that are willing and ready to help too, right?
Yes.
So
I definitely find refuge online.
I do too, honey. I do too. I mean, I would. I've got some, like you, and we've got some good friends that I can connect to them almost every day. My family knows who they are because they're like, tell them I said hi. Okay, I will. So what? I'm doing what you do now, being an official escapee, motivator. What would you say would be like 2 or 3 good tips for someone who wants to do that, and they're just afraid? They're afraid to escape, and they don't even know where to start. So what would you give us a couple tips?
Sure. First, just know that fear, there's 2 things about fear. It's not real. It's not so real. True. And if you think about it, it's never in the present. You always fear something that happened in the past, or it's something you think that's going to happen.
Wow.
So it's never ever in the present, therefore it's not real. And I know that is the number one reason people stay in their jobs, because they're fearful of losing everything.
Yeah.
And the second one is definitely mindset.
I
would probably say mindset is number 1, actually.
I totally agree with you. And funny you say that, because, not to interject, but mindset is my word for this year. I don't do resolutions. I haven't done resolutions in, 3 or 4 years now, because it just didn't serve me. And so I started using words, and I actually created a 1-word little free giveaway for people that just trying to understand, and it can start anywhere, but mindset is my word for this year, because it is a mindset. You create the mindset in your head, whether it's going to be negative or positive, and my goal is for always to be positive.
Yes. Mindset is definitely number 1. I mean, if you don't believe that you can leave your job, it's never going to happen, because you don't believe it.
Right.
And to help with the mindset, I have vision board. I have a vision board electronically on Pinterest.
Love it.
And you can make it secretly, so nobody else can see
Nobody
it.
has to see it.
Nobody has to see it. And you can get it anytime you want. And as long as, I have my phone or my iPad, I'll go on my vision board and I spend at least 15 minutes per day, usually at night before I go to sleep, going through my vision board, imagining the pictures in my head, saying affirmations with each picture. And the other thing, everything I put on my vision board, and this is just me, it has to happen within a year. So that's what I give myself. And I put the dates on when I put the picture up. So I'll know that when my year is up.
That's
so
smart.
That kind of pushes me.
Yeah.
And then when I accomplish something, I write accomplished across the picture.
Yay.
I leave it there for about 2 weeks and then take it down and replace it with another picture. So there are different ways to keep your mindset going. And it is a daily routine. Like you have to do this daily to change that mindset, because most of our mindsets are formed from growing up. You keep hearing, I'm broke, I don't have any money.
Right.
You keep hearing that all your life. You believe it.
Believe
and it's hard. It's difficult to reverse that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Mindset training is a daily routine.
Yeah, you're right. And that's something somebody should create that, Iola. Because honestly, mindset training, because it really is something that is so important and so powerful. Because people don't realize. You're right. You grew up with this stuff. I mean, I grew up from a middle class family. I'm the first one to graduate college, and of all of my first cousins, and so they, they didn't think that you could do this stuff. So they thought I was insane by leaving my corporate job. You made it. Why would you give that up? Yeah. And to me, I was not fulfilled. So, so I needed to, but it all starts with yourself, because if you have the right mindset, and it is, like you said, you have to practice it. It's exercise every day, just like everything else. And so I wake up every morning and talk about being grateful, but I will definitely, so I meditate about that and think about all the things I'm grateful for. But I think, I'm going to take you up on your tip, and I'm going to create a Pinterest board and put those kind of things in there. I've already got a Pinterest board started, because I'm a Pinterest fanatic. But I need to make sure that I've got some things there that, to hold you accountable, because that's something that I don't think we all do. So that's a great tip. Yeah. Great tips.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The third one I would say is take action. Even if it's the smallest thing, even if it's, I don't know, create something. Mm-hmm. Go to a meeting, an event. Mm-hmm. Invest in a workshop. Just take some kind of action and keep going.
Keep going.
And that'll be my third. Yes.
That's a great tip too, because so many people don't. They think about this stuff, but they don't act on it, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's steps. And then I think a lot of people. I was just talking to a client this morning. I was doing a mastermind with her, and she's like, it's just so overwhelming, all the things I don't know. And I said, don't think about all the things that you don't know. Think about the baby steps. Think about, I said focus on one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
And use what you do know.
Exactly.
Use what you do know to get started.
Yeah, that's great tips, honey. Great tips. Okay. So you know me, I'm a visual girl, and I'm all about being putting the right brand out there and putting yourself out there, and being authentic and all that stuff. So what would you say your strategy is for right now for getting visibility online and marketing yourself and promoting yourself in an authentic way? How do how are you doing that right now for yourself?
Well, I started, even before I left my job, I started a Facebook group.
Smart.
To help other women and just to form community. Yeah. And then what I started doing recently is I have free trainings every week for the women in my group. I may extend that later on for people out of the group, but I wanted to provide something for my community where they can learn and to teach them steps they can take, doing things that they love and make money from it. I call myself the silent rebel because people think, oh, she's so quiet and she's so this. But in my head, I'm not your normal girl. So.
But that's great. I love that, the silent rebel. And I think it's good to do that. I think that one, it helps strengthen that community, and you're also giving them actionable steps so that they can then, it's up to them to take you up on it, and hopefully they will, so that they'll get, and it empowers them, right? So that they can start to do that. And I think that's smart to do that. I know a lot of people have gained a lot of great community and networking and connections through Facebook groups. Yeah, I think that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I would say my other thing is getting interviews. Like, I've been really focusing on booking talks and booking interviews with people like this.
Yeah.
So that other people can be inspired and know that they can really do what they love and make money from it.
Right. And I think that's part of the getting over, creating the right mindset and getting over any fear of doing it. Because I've actually invited people on, and they're going, oh, I can't do that. I can't be on video. I'm like, why? But it takes a while, and it's a mindset thing too. I was determined when I started. I was like, I am not going to let this beat me. And yeah, I mean, yes, I want to look 20 pounds lighter, and yes, I need to get my hair fixed again. But you just got to get over all of that and know that there's a higher purpose, right? And so, yeah, and getting it out there. Your passion is to get it out there to the right people. So yeah, interviewing is a big thing. I think that's an awesome thing that you're doing. So, okay, those are great tips. Great tips. So, do you have any great advice or any other big advice that maybe you haven't already mentioned that that would inspire someone in their business if they wanted to leave their 9 to 5? I know we've covered a lot. I don't know if there was anything else that you would add to that.
Sure. I would say look at your skills or your purpose, if you know what it is.
Yeah.
Look at it as an offering. Yes. Look at it as something, because it's true. You were born to do this. You were made to do this, and nobody can do it like you.
Right.
There can be a million other people, have your same target audience, have your skills, but really only you can do it the way you can. Right. So this is your offering to the world, and just know that people are waiting for you. And the longer you stay in your 9 to 5, and the longer you do whatever you're doing to avoid truly living in your purpose, you're really letting people down. Mm-hmm. And that's how I saw myself. Like, I'm not leaving my job. I'm letting people down. I'm telling them it's okay to stay if they want to.
Right.
So just know you have something to offer. You have an offering, and that there are people waiting for you, and that there are people who will be willing to pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well.
And they're looking for someone like you. And that's the thing, is like there could be, think of how many shoe companies there are, but not everybody's Nike. Not everybody's Adidas. Right. You know what I mean? So you have to, the people that love you and need to hear it from your perspective, and they want to know from your story. So yeah, that's some great advice there, Missy. So what are you, I know that being an entrepreneur, we're always learning and growing. And if you're not doing a course, you're reading about something. So what are you reading right now, or what are you learning right now that you would share with us?
Well, I'm reading this book. I'm almost done with this, called The 6-Figure Coach.
Ooh.
Because I do want to get to 6 figures.
Yeah, there you go. That's a mindset.
Yes. So I'm currently reading that. I listen to videos all the time. I'm listening to a lot of speaking videos.
Smart. Because
my business is kind of shifting more so towards speaking and training. Mm-hmm. So I've been doing a lot of speaking videos, and actually enrolled in a speaking program.
Awesome. You have to tell me about that. Yay.
Yeah, absolutely love it. I mean, there's so many new things. I love to learn new things. Mm-hmm. And speaking is fairly new to me, so I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. You know what? It's exciting to learn. I think that's part being entrepreneurs. I think a lot of us, we're big picture people, and we like to think about, and we like to learn. I mean, I have not met one online entrepreneur who doesn't want to learn. You know what I mean? Yeah. They want to expand and grow. And it's funny you talk about speaking, because when I started this process, I thought, well, I'll be a blogger, and I'll do passive income, and I'll have courses, and I was wondering why it was taking me so long to get all this stuff going. And now the ball's starting rolling, and there's a lot of reasons why, and a lot of the things that you and I, what you just shared with us, it's the mindset, getting over the fear, all that stuff. But because it does affect all of us still. I mean, we constantly have to face that, and but it's the ones that are successful are the ones that continue down that journey. They won't let it stop them. They know what their purpose is, and they keep going, right? Yes. So I used to do speaking back when I was in the corporate world, and I loved it. And I never would have thought I would have been. If you would have asked me this in high school or college, I thought you were insane. But now I'm starting to get where I'm like, I can see that I want to do that again. So so I want to talk to you about this course. That's exciting. Sure. Yeah. Sure. So, okay. So you know that I'm a big quote girl. And I know you love quotes too. So share with us, and I'll put this in our little on the page so that everybody can take it and pin it and put it on their Pinterest boards and be inspired by it. But so tell us give me like one or two of your favorite quotes.
Okay, my new favorite this has been my favorite for a couple of months.
Okay.
And it's, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe. And that's by Oprah Winfrey.
I love that.
That's been my quote for the past couple of months, because it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
It is true. It is true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And my other one, this one has been a favorite of mine for years. Feed the dream and starve the nightmare.
Oh,
I forgot
awesome.
who said it. I read it in a magazine somewhere.
Oh, that's beautiful too.
Yes,
great
I have that
quotes.
in my email.
Yeah, see, that's something that, yeah, I'll definitely be putting those in my in your post on the blog. Oh, absolutely. And I hope that I highly encourage everyone who listens to the blog, take it and pin them. because I mean, I think, to me, quotes inspire you. If they're the positive, and they remind you, and they're very empowering to me. And those are two great quotes. I've never heard of that one by Oprah. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because I was doing a teleclass somewhere, and I saw it the same day as the teleclass. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely saying this.
That's a great one. That's a great one. So awesome. So I know that you're working on a few things, because I know you're always working on something. So what are you working on right now that you can share with our audience?
I'm very excited. I am launching a 4-week Amazon Kindle publishing boot camp.
Awesome.
A lot of people don't know, but Kindle is a multi-billion-dollar business that a lot of people have not tapped into.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And I've been writing for Kindle since 2013, and people have been asking me questions. Oh, how do you write your book? How do you upload it? How do you market it? What are the steps? And I never thought of putting a program together. So now I'm taking action.
Absolutely.
And I know that, yes.
Yay for you.
I know that there are a lot of people out there, especially if you're in your 9-to-5. This is a great way of creating passive income while you're still working. And passive income, I like to say, is making money while you sleep. Basically, making money 24/7, but I like to say while you're sleeping.
Love that.
Because I remember when I had my first book on Amazon, I'll wake up and I run to Amazon to see how many books I sold while I was sleeping.
Wow! Because it's exciting.
Yes, it's like one of the best feelings. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I created this thing one time and just left it. And every month I get a check from Amazon.
Wow. That's so cool. Very cool. Yeah, and I know that so many people are stepping into their purpose and away from the nightmare and the fear, and they're doing that. And I would think that could really help, like, bloggers like myself. I thought about that too. I thought, well, I've gotten all these blogs. I've seen where bloggers have taken excerpts out of their blog throughout the year and made that into a book. So, yeah, I think it'd be great.
There's such a need out there. People are looking to solve different problems, and you can help them. In the course, I teach 3 different techniques that I use to publish 2-3 books per month. Wow. And one of them includes not writing it yourself at all.
Wow, that's awesome.
Some people say, oh, I'm not a writer, I don't know what to write. That's not an issue for Kindle publishing, trust me.
Wow, now you've got me really intrigued. So when are you going to be launching this program?
It will be March 10th. I think that's a Tuesday.
Okay.
And it's a 4-week program, and the goal is by the end of the program, you should have at least 1 book up on Amazon.
Oh, that's
so it's
awesome.
Very hands-on, very comprehensive. I mean, I go through screen sharing. I show step-by-step how to do everything, how to pick a niche that you know your book will sell, how to pick your title, how to pick the keywords, the cover. I go over everything from beginning to end. So it's a very comprehensive, hands-on 4 weeks.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, will you have will you be having will they be in a part of your Facebook group, or will you have a special group for them, or?
Yeah, we'll do everything via webinar, and then there is a Facebook support group.
Perfect.
So while you're in the program, I'll be in there for any questions, or we can encourage each other and so forth.
That is amazing. I can't wait to share that. That's going to be very fun, very cool, and the fact that a lot of people don't realize how much they already know, right? So this is kind of a funny question. And it's not a trick question. It's kind of a funny question. I was talking to an author. She's an author of, actually she's in one of the groups that I'm involved in, and she was saying one of her pet peeves is that that people are putting out these Kindle ebooks, and they're calling them an ebook, but they're really not a book. It's more like a pamphlet or a guide. And she said so she has a specific number in her head that she thinks means to be a book. So that this would equate to an actual book. So do you have a number that you would say based on your experience?
I usually say, for me, at least 25, because I think my first book was 25 pages.
Okay.
I really don't focus on the number. I focus on just finding a solution. Because really, people don't have time to read long books.
Yeah.
They just want something quick.
Yes.
And I feel like that's how Kindle comes in handy.
Yes.
It's quick, but it solves the problem.
That's perfectly stated. And it's true, because I mean, even like when people like create, like I just created the guide. I'm like, okay, give them exactly what will help them get to a place where they can take action and they've learned something from. Because the same thing, I mean, I've downloaded books and you're going, I'm never going to read all this. I don't have the time, right?
Yes.
So I think that is really important. And you know, I've actually done books where I've purchased the actual physical book and then I download the Kindle, because there's lots of links and stuff in it. And sometimes the Kindle to me is more user friendly.
Yeah.
You know, because it has all the links and I can just click it and go. So I think that's awesome. Very, very cool.
The great thing with Kindle too, you can update your book. You can go back and revise it in 24 hours.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah, I've got a book I need to talk to you about, because I might have to take your course. Well, I am so excited. Thank you so much, Miss Iola, for chatting with us and sharing with us your journey and your story. And I know that you're going to be you are already successful. So I know that it's just going to, you know, all of everything that you believe and envision, all those dreams are going to come true for you. And I see you just hopping all over the world, traveling.
Yes, I love to travel.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on the call with us today. I really appreciate you being here and sharing.
And thank you for having me. I mean, I had a blast, and I love to help. So thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. And I will make sure that I have all the links. So everyone, make sure that you come on and visit us here at Creative Biz School and visit Iola. I will have her links on our page too. And you guys all have a great day. Thanks for coming. Take care.
Bye, everyone.